You're tuned into the Confidence series, where together we learn how to level up in our boldness, business, and our bank accounts so we can experience the life we were meant to live by tapping into the power of true confidence. Let's get into the episode. Hey, Confident Chicks. Welcome back. So if you've been following along, you know we've been talking and debunking what it truly means to be confident. You know we talked about what is the secret sauce of a confident chick. It is identity. It comes from the core of who we are. Then it flows to purpose, what we do, how we operate in the world around us. And then it goes into your package. That's your sauce. That's how you present yourself to the world around you. And then it's that thing that makes you magnetic. That's called your confident chick glow or your influence. But if you haven't heard anything of what I'm talking about before, girl, pause this video and go back to the first one and then the second. We are in a series called the Confidence Series, and go ahead and click on your journal. It's the official journal of our community, and it is for free. It is an interactive workbook with the questions and exercises that go along with each teaching for every week. Now, let's get back to this identity formula. Remember, that's our core. So far, you know we talked about the hearing, the knowing. Now, this week, we're going to talk about phase 3 of the identity model, growing. This is the growing pains of becoming. Girl, this is where the rubber meets the pavement, because this is where you'll begin to have things happen that make you have to choose between your false self or what you have discovered about the true you. On your journey to becoming a bigger and a better you, you're going to encounter a pull. It's an inner pull. It's going to be what I like to call the pull between comfortability versus elevation. My experience for me, I went from esthetician to a full-blown entrepreneur, and it was a freaking shell shock for me. What I discovered was when I would run into bumps in the road on becoming an entrepreneur and a speaker, I would often question myself and feel like I would just go look for makeup jobs. I'd be like, I'm just going to go back to employment. That's just easier. But for whatever reason, it wasn't supposed to be that way, because in that moment, those doors would not reopen for me. And I'm thankful that they did not, because if I would have gotten the job offers and chose to take those offers, that would have been me. To everybody else, it would have looked good. But I know from the inside that if I would have done that, it would have been me shrinking back again. That would have been me staying in my comfort zone versus going into the elevation, which is the unknown. Oftentimes, you're going to face that along different parts of your journey, but you have to think about it like this. What do you lose if you decide to stay and do what you've always done? What does it mean to you to truly become the next level you? What does it cost? And is it worth you staying where you have been and living your life in series of regrets versus going into the unknown, right? And just losing the control that you think you have. I think the risk to reward ratio is so much greater on the side of elevation. Because oftentimes the things in life, the unlockings, the things that we're really meant to do and become, they don't actually come by a way that we really expected them to come at all. I tell you where they're definitely not going to come from. What you've already been doing. Isn't it a saying that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting to get different results? You've done that in your past before, and it's brought you and led you up to where you are today. But now, being that you want to go higher, it's going to be time to do something a little different. And for me, it took me months to come to that decision in my own mind. I was fighting between keeping it my way or going to a higher level. How do we do that? How do we overcome these growing pains? The formula that I put together for this one is called the 3 Ds: distractions, discouragement, and denials. As transformation begins to take place, as you set your mind to begin to transform and become more, you're going to have pullings against you to stop you from going to that next level. One of them come in the form of the first D, which is discouragement. Discouragement is going to sound like all of those inner voices, and sometimes external from people we may know, that tell us things opposite to that of which we are going. It's not so much what happens to us as much as it is how you allow it to affect you moving forward. When we have those inner voices telling us you can't do it, or to stop doing what you're doing, hold back, or externally from other people, it doesn't really do anything until you come, or unless you come into agreement with it. If you begin to believe the discouraging things being said to you, they then become your truth, and you will be governed by your truth, because life or death is in the tongue. What you speak will be. And so we've got to hold those discouraging, I call them discouraging statements. We've got to take those things and hold them accountable. Just because you're encountering a feeling of discouragement, it does not mean that you have to take it into yourself and hold it as your truth. What will you do with that statement? Will you come into agreement with it and allow you to hold back? Or are you going to dispel it? Which one? You choose. Another growing pain that comes up on our journey to becoming is distractions. Everybody has distractions. If we are living life likes the life, distractions come up. Will we allow that to take us off our course? Let me tell you what distractions are sent to do. Distractions are sent to either delay you or completely remove you off of the path that you're supposed to be on. This is what a distraction is going to look like. They come in the form of urgencies, emergencies. Come, hurry up, you have to move quick. Those are what they begin to look like. I once heard a wise woman say, everybody else's urgencies are not your urgencies. And you must begin to learn how to decipher between which is which. Everything that yells and screams and blinks loudly at you, if it is not something that is dire on your path and your purpose to becoming, ooh, sis, it might just be a distraction. If it is going to rob you and drain you of your energy and time, because that is what a distraction does, then you don't need to be doing it. It can possibly be something that is delegated. Is it really something that you have to solve, or is it something that you can put a system in place, or that you can direct the issue to someone else who's better equipped to solve it at that time? Within the growing pains of becoming, there's something that's going to come up that serves as an obstacle for you. It is called denial. And when I say denial, I'm talking about self-denial. Self-denial are those things that are going to come up on your journey that look like obstacles and situations. And what's going to happen is an inner dialogue is going to start to occur, and it's going to be a self-doubt. And it's going to cause you to question whether you are good enough to do something, whether you know enough, whether you are equipped enough and to do this thing that you're setting out to do. Just know this, doubt stems from fear. Fear comes only to do one thing. It comes to steal from you and to destroy the seed of your ideal or your vision. Now, when something is a doubt in your mind, which is opposite against what it is that you're wanting to go forward and do, when we look at it, if it's not the truth, then it's the opposite. It is a false belief. You don't have to choose to come into agreement with a false belief. You can take captive your thoughts and you can command that thing to go. And a way you do it is this, confident cheat. We are going to test it out. When you are encountering doubtful thoughts, aka those self-denials, you're gonna come up to it head on. You're going to take whatever it is and you're going to do the opposite of what it's saying that you can't do. That's the only way to prove it false. Your mind can only come into agreement with it if you allow it to be. But when you take action on something, you begin to poke holes in its theory. And then soon you'll begin to see that it wasn't true at all. And if it's not the truth, it's a false belief. Alright, confident chicks, so those were our 3 D's to overcoming the growing pains of becoming: discouragement, denials, and distractions. I know that the journey to becoming can be a quite difficult one, but I want to let you know, girl, you don't have to do it alone. Come and join our community. When you sign up to receive your free PDF journal, you're going to be added to our emailing list. And I'll be sending out encouraging words to help you actually translate this stuff in your day-to-day life. I understand and I know, girl, life be lifing, okay? And sometimes you just need somebody to encourage you, or better yet, remind you that you are more. And so I just want you guys to go ahead and sign up, and I welcome you into the community, into the tribe. This is an open discussion, so feel free to blast off in the comments. Once you sign up to the email list and get your free journal, you can email me. I don't mind. And I'm going to be also growing the ways in which we come together and interact in the near future. So I look forward to you joining the tribe, sis, and let's go. Next week, you'll want to come back, because now that we've done the hard work, girl, now this next phase that we're going to go into, oh sweetie, this is how we activate it. You won't want to miss this. I'll see you next week.